Paul and Silas bound in jail had no money for to go their bail. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on.
The world lost an original last Thursday with the passing of Alex Bagwell, who, with his wife of over 60 years, Harriet, was a fixture at labor and civil rights protests all over the Bay Area for years. I had the privilege of interviewing the two of them for a film Shelley Kessler and I are trying to produce about singer-activists Jimmy Collier and John Fromer, who was quite close to the Bagwells. Here are some highlights.
And everybody knew Alex. Yeah. So everybody who was a member of the church, members of other churches, see, they wanted to see who he's marrying.
Because we all went to school together.
Because they all went to school together, but no one knew me. So they were curious, I guess, what I looked like.
My family hadn't even met her.
Oh yes, your family had met me.
I
Give
mean,
me
for
break.
a good while before we got married, not too much.
Well, by this time they knew who I was. Okay.
All right, okay.
Anyway,
If people are in struggle, singing increased the force of our side. People could join in and sing while you're on the picket line, and it was just a necessary part of the struggle. It was because it was such a dynamic thing in terms of bringing in everybody. And they were the kinds of songs we sang, what we call them zipper songs, so that everybody could join in. And so that was a tremendous addition to what we were doing in terms of the issues that were involved.
we would bring food. It was a potluck, and we would get together, and sometimes people would bring songs, that they had written. Freedom Song Network had a lot of talented people in it.
I want to say this, reflecting on her talking about that. She came from a place in the South where the group of anti-racists were very small. It's the same way up here. But this group was very consciously anti-racist. And that was very impressive for a person who was fighting that all the time as a black person, conditioned reflex, as soon as somebody sees you, they go into a different, they're not talking to a human being anymore. So it was a boon to be around white people, quote unquote, who were not always reacting to your color. An old friend, quote unquote, decided he had become a secondary leader in his
union.
In the mechanics, elevator mechanics union, a vice president or something. And he was right wing as hell. And he got to talking to me about my point of view. So he's decided now he's gonna get me in a
He tried to red bait us.
yeah, and to my family while he was in the family gathering, because he was part of the family now. His brother had married my sister years ago, and my niece, it's the issue. At any rate, we're just sitting there, and he's wondering how he's going to maneuver this so that it's dramatic and makes me look, bad. So it backfired on him because he didn't know first of all, he didn't know what a communist was. Second of all, he was on the wrong side while he was a leader, secondary leader in a union. He was on the wrong side, joining the most reactionary aspects of union leadership at the time. Third of all, he's supposed to have been a friend of mine, you know. So he just, it was so awkward, you know. He just said communist.
He blurts out,
Yeah,
you know.
the word like it was the dirty word of years ago when unions were forming, and it fell on it like a lead balloon, you know, because my family admired what we were doing. He didn't know that, and it didn't mean anything to them.
Well,
You know, the fact that the word didn't mean anything to them because they were interested in the difference between how everybody who was being proselytized in the wrong way were seeing it. And part of that, they thought my family didn't understand that. My family had to deal with that because of what we were doing, they admired.
in fact, our niece Kelly,
Yeah, we
his
were.
sister's daughter, she said,
We were her heroes.
you two are my heroes, you know. So he thought he would get some kind of mileage out of,
And that's his niece,
you know,
too.
calling us communists.
Yeah, just
And
blurting
it's
it
like,
out.
come on.
So he didn't
See,
understand.
Alex's family, they know what our politics are.
Yeah.
You know, they know we're left, you know, and they
Only
know
thing-
we've
only
you know,
thing my father-
participated in marches
My
and,
father told me
and skits.
he was proud of it. He just told me, don't get stuck out there by yourself. Because a lot of times that's what happens to black activists who are responding to a mass development by being a part of it, and they run into a racist wall that isolates them. And that's what he was interested in me understanding. So that's the only thing he told me, you know, and he understood that. And I was kind of, you know, glad that he understood that because it reminded me of what my friend Sparky would tell me, because black people were in the party a long time ago. They joined the party because the party would say that it was anti-racist. It would declare its unity with black people, you know. So that drew black people to it. And it was the same way then in the 40s as it was later on in the 60s.
Hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold